Hello, welcome to Grimes's Home Garage. I'm Joe Grimes. This is my Lincoln MKZ Red Z. I want to talk today about a few little things that I've done to the car to make it better, I think, and in a couple cases just to make it easier to do some of the normal tasks with the car. So the first thing is I tinted the windows. So I really like that. I had debated a long time whether I should, and I went ahead and did it. I'm glad I did. So the tinted looks a lot better. I like that part. And then I'm going to show you some things I did with the lighting. As I walk up to the locked car, I get the Lincoln logo. I didn't do that. That came with the car, but I really like that. That's handy. But that light is not on when you're in the car. Once you've unlocked the door, you'll see that goes out. That went out. And but what I did add was this, which is with the door open, you get a light shining on where a puddle light. That's where you would step if you step out of the car. The idea being, if there is a puddle there in a dark parking lot, you'll see it. So, and it has the Lincoln logo again. I'm going to shut this door and turn the lights on. I'm in the garage doing this, partly because it's only 3 degrees Fahrenheit outside. But I want to show you my floor mat. Okay, now if I look here, this is the floor mat. They got a set of these for the front and the back seat, and they have a nice lip around them. And when you have weather like we have here in Indiana in the wintertime, a lot of slush and junk, these work very nice, keep the floor decent, and it's better than having the regular mats. Not that there's anything really wrong with the mats that came with the car, but these are nicer for bad weather for sure. Now, we go back here. I'm going to open the trunk. And then the next thing I changed has to do with this gadget. This is under the floor in the trunk. So the changes I'm going to talk about now are trunk related. And this is there instead of a spare tire. It includes this device, which is an air pump. And I mean, it's a nice air pump, but you have to plug it in to the car's power, cigarette lighter power connection. It has several features. Has a gauge. You can pump tires and basketballs and whatever. Has a few things, the wiring around it. But it's I've got another one that I'll show you that I'm going to replace it with. This one drops right in here, and this piece I'm taking out completely, and that I don't need. I'll show you what I'm going to do with the space this used to take up here in a minute. Show you what I've done here. Now you'll notice the light in the trunk doesn't really light much up. So as I approach it, that light comes on, and that is light, a motion sensor light that I got from Amazon. You get various sizes, and I just attached it up here to this material that's in there. The other thing I've done is I have a net that goes across here. I don't find that very functional, but so I don't really use it. But I do use this. This is nice. You're carrying something, and so it doesn't bang around in the trunk. I use that for groceries every week, really. So a lot of stuff over here, and then things that might break in this. Now notice this has this clip here, which allows you to, if you want it, you can make this box much bigger. And this floor unfolds, so holds it out, and that way, you have. Let me see here. These pieces can go in there and divide it into sections, and they hold on with Velcro. So that also can be handy if you got, depending on what you're hauling, and the fact that this can easily come out of here. So now the other thing I want to show you is what I was speaking to you a few minutes ago. That big foam piece, and it has a air compressor on it, and I've replaced that with this air compressor. This one is, if I turn it on here, you can see, and I've got it set to 36. You can set it to however many psi you want, and then you can use it. It's very easy to use. It's rechargeable, so you don't have to plug it in cigarette lighter or anything. Now, as you can see, it's saying 32. I let it layer out just to show this demonstration. And that's the thing I like about it. When it reaches where you got it set, it turns itself off, so you can be off doing something else. So that I keep in this trunk here, and then I have replaced that big foam piece with this. This tire is a T125/70 R18, and so it's 18 where the car's tires are 19, but the car tires are 40% sidewall where this is 70. So this still ends up being a little bit smaller in circumference. So if you have to put this on the front where the differential is, it could cause a problem if you ran too fast or you ran it too long. So you want to kind of hold it down. And my intent, if I had this front tire that needed it replaced, is I would take this tire and replace one of the back tires and take the back tire and move it to the front, so I wouldn't risk damaging the differential of the transmission. So, but anyway, I feel more comfortable having a tire. So the other thing is, how do you jack a car up. And that, I bought this device, and this device another Amazon buy. This comes with a lot of things. This does plug into the cigarette lighter power in the car, and this is a scissors jack. It has a motor, so you just have to push this button up and down. You don't have to jack it or anything. And this goes on the pinch weld. And as far as getting the bolts off of the wheel bolts, this device is an impact screwdriver, and it runs on this electricity, and so you can get, no matter how tight they are, it does a really good job of getting them off and putting them back on. So it works pretty good. Comes with 4 different size sockets, and if you don't have a cigarette lighter, it has this clip which allows you to hook it up to your battery. But most cars have at least one power place that you can plug into. So this is my replacement jack, so you don't have to break your neck pumping and stuff. And I've used it a couple times after I bought it just to make sure it worked, and it worked pretty good. So I'll put this back in. I put this over here like that, and then just to make sure that that doesn't slide around, I use these inside petition things. That this is what this is for. But since this is kind of a felt, these are Velcro, what I do is I put this on there and tighten it down, and that keeps it from sliding around. This next part I want to talk about is these cars, the hybrid cars, transmission is pretty robust. And when they do fail, it's because there's been a leak. Either they haven't changed the fluid and it's gotten really, really bad and burned the bearings out, or there's been a leak and the fluid's run out. It's difficult. They don't have a dipstick. So I've added a dipstick that allows you to keep track. You can check it every time or every other time you get gas. And that way, if you do have a leak, you're going to pick up on it before you actually ruin your transmission. So I'll show you how the dipstick reads. The other advantage of this, having a dipstick, is you can drain and fill through this. This tube goes down and along the driver's side of the transmission to the back and around and connects to the drain plug. So this is actually connected directly to the drain plug on the transmission. And with one of these devices, which is just you can buy these fairly inexpensively, this allows you to I'll put it up here where you can see what I'm doing. This pumps a vacuum in here, and so that vacuum will then pull the fluid right up out of here. It comes with these connections, and this hose you just stick on the end of this one and pump it up. It pulls all the fluid out of the transmission, and then you can put it back in a couple different ways. You can use the you can use a funnel and just pour it in slowly, or you can use let me show you. You can buy these. I call it a hypodermic, but you can buy these and pull the good stuff in here, and then pump it in that way. And when you take the old fluid out, you measure and see how much it is. It should be 4.5 quarts on these hybrids, and then you put 4.5 quarts back in. Let me bring the camera over and show you this a little closer. I'll show you. You can see I've got this connected. It's tied to these wires with just Ziplocs, and so that it holds tight. You don't want to squeeze it, and but you can run your dipstick down there, and that works pretty good. I'll show you. I'm going to lay this dipstick right here. And you can see you get the shine from the light. You can see how deep it is. And this is clean, so see, it's at the top of the hash marks. And when you go from the top of the hash marks down to here, that's 1/2 quart, the sensitivity of that. So you get a pretty good read on where you are from fluid. And that device for pumping that out also works, by the way, on the engine from the dipstick there. You can run that all the way down and drain the oil without having to go underneath. And you can, and then I have, and I'll show you pictures of it, but I've got a hole that I've made in the splash guard underneath, which is the other modification that I've done. So right under the car here, front, and I'll show you that part. And that's the end of it.